Welcome back, everyone. Great to be here today on episode 96 of the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. Hopefully, you've been having a great start to the year. I'm excited to get started because today's going to be a little bit of a rant-based show. If you follow my Cabral concept podcast, if you're an IHP, you're used to the rants by now. They're always meant with love. They really are. But at some time, you get to a point where you just kind of say, I can't take this anymore. I need to get out there. I need to share with people the honest approach to being able to develop a career as a health coach, as a health practitioner, as a personal trainer, as anyone in this health and service-based industry the right way. Meaning, we want to do this the right way. There is a right way to do it. You do not need to struggle for the rest of your life. And that's what I want to share with you here today. Because I have seen a lot of people be very successful in a very short period of time. What do I consider successful in a very short period of time? Well, one is understanding what it is you're looking to accomplish. You don't need to do 30 to 40 of consultations or appointments a week to be successful. You might want to do one a day. You might want to do 2 a day as a health coach. As a personal trainer, you might want to do 20 sessions a week or 30 sessions a week. It might not be 40, right? So first is defining what it is that success means to you. Okay, that's a great thing. But the second is you're able to achieve whatever that goal is. Again, it doesn't matter if it's one appointment a day, one appointment a week, or 30 appointments a week as whether it's a health coach, personal trainer, chiropractor, etc. So here's the thing. You should be able to achieve that in 12 months or less. I really believe that. Meaning that if you didn't achieve it in 12 months or less, you did what I'm about to share with you here today. Now, I by no means want you to think that I don't even know if this is the right analogy. I don't even know what this analogy means, but I rode in on my high horse, right? Like I am holier or greater than thou. That is never the case. And that's exactly why I do this podcast, because I share with you all of my mistakes. And hopefully you've really learned about that on the Cabral Concept, Mindset and Motivation Mondays. I shared that the Monday before. But today was actually supposed to be a website, like designing the perfect website. But it's going to be next week, okay? But I had to take a little bit of a hiatus from that, which I wanted to bring you, because I see people going on 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, not being successful in whatever they define as success. And the thing is, they're always looking for, hey, how do I become successful? When the blueprint's out there, and that's why I want to share that with you right now. You can't keep doing and looking for the next thing when it is out there. And so many people have just veered so far off the path that I just want them to get back on the path. Now, if you're enjoying the journey and you're just having a lot of fun learning in the process, then keep on keeping on. That's what I'm saying. Fantastic. I have no problem with that. But I know there's a lot of people out there struggling and they want to be able to get more clients, to help more clients because they love what they do. And they also want to financially earn more money. Well, you accomplish both of those things by getting more clients. Here's the thing. I struggled for, let's say, 2004 is when I left the health club industry per se, and I went on my own, okay? So from 2004 to 2007, when I opened my first location, that was 3 years of just trying to figure it out. Honestly, just trying to figure it out. 2007, I opened my first location. And I was just saying, hey, if I open this new location in Boston, clients are just going to be banging down my door. And that didn't happen after a month, 2 months, 3 months. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what's going on here. Recession starts to hit, right? 2008. And I realized that that's not how business works, right? So what do? I begin to study. I want to be busier. I hired 2 personal trainers right out of the gates and nutritionists. I need to get them busy. They took a risk on me. I can't let them down. So what did I do? I learned what I needed to do in order to have a successful studio. How did I learn what I needed to do in order to have a successful studio? Okay, I felt that we were able to help clients transform their bodies and their overall health through diet and exercise, essentially nutrition and exercise, as well as anybody in Boston. I really felt that way. Okay, so it wasn't our programs. Our clients were very happy. We had almost no one leave. So we basically had 100% retention for myself and the two personal trainers, but they weren't fully busy. I needed to get them busier, okay? So I said, it's not necessarily the service that we're providing, right? Because they're happy. We're getting a few referrals, great, but we're not getting more eyeballs in. Why? Well, people don't know we exist. We don't know we're there, right? We're not doing the right things there. So what did I do? I studied how to show up on Google. I studied how to get more clients through digital-based ads, marketing. This is before social media. This is 2007, okay? Now, maybe there was some type of social media out there. Great. It wasn't really doing anything back then, okay? So that is what I did. Now, how did I learn that? I learned that through discovering what other health spas, personal training studios, other businesses did. That's basically all I did is I said, okay, I now have a new job. I need to figure this out, right? That was basically it. But here's the thing. I could have done that a year before, 2 years before. I didn't even know that you could do that. I didn't even know I was going to have to market. I really didn't. I was just under the assumption, like most other health and fitness people, you do good work, more clients come in. It's just not necessarily the truth. They come in, but it's pretty slow because it's all through referrals. That's great. But if you learn how to be able to get more people in by getting your name out there and the work that you do, well, then here's the thing. You get to help more people at a faster rate, and you get to earn a great income and help people on your team grow. So the thing is, though, I know how to do this, and it's simply not because I was able to, go to this amazing marketing university and figure out this. No, that's not how that works at all. I had mentors. I had coaches. I took courses. I learned from other people. That's what I did, just like we all do, right? This is what we all do. Well, I've taught this now to many people at my two previous locations. I've taught it to other IHPs. I've taught other people. And what happens is this. Some people use the model and they absolutely take right off with it. And they do great. And I love that. And I honestly expect that, right? That's what I expect. And then some people, I speak with them and I see that they're still struggling. I understand that they're not where they want to be. And I literally ask them, are you doing this? And they said, well, and there's always some type of excuse why they're not doing it. Okay, understood. Got it. Okay, I've got the first part. Okay, now here's the second. Are you doing this? They're like, well, and there's a story behind it. And then I say, okay, understood. And are you then sending out your, and then XYZ, referral emails, whatever it might be? They're like, and there's always a story behind it, right? So here's what I found. Again, not going back to me, but I only work in one industry. I can only share with you about one industry, and it's the health, the fitness, the wellness-based industry. I eat it, I sleep it, I breathe it, and I love sharing it with you, right? And I don't have anything to sell you. This is just the honest truth, and I hope that it resonates with at least one or two people, because you are going to struggle if you are doing these three things, all right? So here's what it is. There are systems for everything, okay? If you want to open a chiropractic center, there's a system for that. If you want to open a massage-based center, there's a system for that. If you want a successful personal training studio, there's a system for that. How about a health coaching practice? Well, there's a system for that as well, right? So there's systems for all of those things. Here's the problem. They exist, but some people, I don't know why, they do these three things. The first is this. So they think that it's a fluke that the owner of that system was successful. So the chiropractor, the spa, the personal trainer, health coach, whatever, it's like, well, that person was able to do it. Sure, that's a fluke though. They're one in a million. So there are a lot of people who believe that, right? There's a lot of people who believe that they're the only individual in the world that could do that. Maybe it worked for them. It's not going to work for me. Now, you have to understand is like, okay, well, whoever that person is, they have their personality. Okay, that's them. But at the end of the day, what do? They implemented a system. Like, for example, for us, when I had my 2 locations, our second wellness-based center, I do have to say, is that for anything to do with health, nutrition, naturopathy, which is what I did not advertise for that. So I didn't advertise at all for that. But we did do marketing online for personal training and massage because I was committed again. I had, 16, 18 personal trainers, massage therapists, nutritionists in the practice. And so I wanted to build them up. And so I had nothing to do with that. People saw an ad, right? They went to the website. The website offered them a consultation. This is done in a very specific sequence, of course. And then they signed up, right? Like, this is what we did. And I've taught that to many people. And again, some people are like, well, I kind of tried it. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what kind of try means, right? Like, did you implement this system? And for me, it's because I want to see people be so successful. I really do. Like, I want this for them. I don't need it for me. I want it for them because for the most part, these are really good people. Like, these are great people that I'm talking about. Great people. And they're always going to struggle if they do these 3 things. One is they believe that it was just a fluke, right? So it doesn't apply to them. All right. Well, what's the second thing that they could do? So the second is they think that they can improve upon the system that they were given or taught. This is interesting, right? So I've always said this before. I kind of go about this, that you might be able to. Honestly, like, every system can be improved upon. And you should absolutely try to improve upon it. But when should you do that? Never until you've already mastered the system, right? So there's all sorts of ways, like in weightlifting, if you've ever exercised, there are cheat lifts. Like, there are ways to cheat. But you're doing it on purpose for a specific effect. So, for example, negatives are a good example of that. So let's just say you're doing a chest press, okay? Someone helps you lift the weight. After you're already at failure, you might go for then 2 or 3 more negatives where they lift it up basically with your help, and then you just decelerate down, working on the negative. Okay, that's a little bit more advanced. Well, the same thing goes for anything. But guess what? You don't get to do negatives in weightlifting until you've maybe been training, or at least you should, for at least like 6 to 12 months minimum, right? There's a lot before that. And so you need to master that first, right? You master everything. You master form, you master techniques, you master biomechanical alignment, everything. And then maybe only if necessary, like literally only if necessary, do you do negatives. I don't do any negatives anymore. Like, that's not necessarily necessary for me, but way back in the day, okay, sure. Yeah, I did that. But you have to understand, it's like, you follow the system because it's already been proven to work. And then when you implement it, okay, now you say, all right, I'm not going to change anything except for this one variable. Now I'm going to see if I get a better result. And that's just simply called, A/B testing, or testing the control. The control is what you know works, and you test something else. And you say, okay, did it work better, the same, or worse? And if it works worse, don't do that anymore. If it works the same, decide between the two, and then see how it performs over the next 60 to 90 days, because it might start to work worse. And then if it's better, well, okay, then again, test it for 69 days. If it continues to work better, okay, you've now improved upon the control, and that's a good thing. But you don't do that until you're already mastered the specific system and got the results that the system promises, all right? Number 3 is this. They think that, so people that do not follow these blueprints, right, that have already been laid out, they think that this is a different day and age, and what worked 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago is no longer working or doesn't work for them. And what people fail to realize is it does not matter for 90% of the equation when it is. So here's the thing. Only the media changes. People don't really change. They've never really changed for a couple hundred years now. They really haven't, right? At least for 100 years. People's wants are basically the same. People's needs are basically the same. We still have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So what has really changed? Again, I just want to repeat, it's just not changed, right? You still need basically the proper message to the right market of people with the right product to serve their needs, providing excellent service, has to be excellent, and you're building relationships. None of that changes, okay? So what changes? The media that you reach those people through. That's it. We used to do health tables set up at, before it was Whole Foods, it was what? It was like Bread and Circus or something like that. I don't even know what it was. I can't even remember. But we did that, and when Whole Foods first came out. Okay, so we did that. We went to meetups and spoke at meetups. We did SEO. It still exists, right? We paid for Google AdWords, still exists. When Yelp came out, okay, what do? We just shifted and we made sure our business was on Yelp. So all that changes is the media, right? We never ran Facebook ads. Guess what? We would run Facebook ads. Like that's the thing. We use Facebook ads now. So you have to understand the message doesn't change. The marketing does not change only through the medium because you're saying the same things. What do people want? They want to get well, right? They want to lose weight or gain weight, and they want to live longer. Like those are the three things that we obviously offer. Now, people who are in pain want to get out of pain. People who have thyroid issues want to fix their thyroid. But that's why the marketing and message never changes. The product, well, it's your service, right? If you're an IHP, it's an at-home lab, or it's protocols, or it's whatever it is, like health coaching, right? Personal training, you're helping them with fitness, nutrition, etc. So none of that changes. Absolutely none of it. So the problem is that it's all of these excuses that people make that I don't want you to make anymore. So what I really want you to do, and the whole point of this podcast, is take an honest assessment as to if you are not where you want to be, and you've been trying for 12 months to grow and be successful, and you haven't, please just say this. I'm not blaming me. I'm not blaming anyone, right? Say that to yourself, because we don't need to play the blame game. What you are going to do, though, is make sure that the next 12 months were different from the last 12 months. And you are going to follow a proven system, not by one individual, but by an individual that has either taught this many times or proven it out over years to work. And then you're going to take that system and you are not going to question it. You're going to ask questions about how to better implement it, but you're not going to try to improve upon it. You can improve upon it once you've mastered it and you're already busy. When you're busy and you're just looking for that icing on the cake or to make it even better, then absolutely have at it. And then also understand that the advertising that worked in the 1950s works today, just tweaked. That's really it. No, they didn't have the internet. I understand that. But their postcards that they did have, or newspapers or whatever it might be, all of those messages are the same. Now they're in a digital medium. They still have a headline. They still have a photo. They're still talking about a pain point, and they're still talking about how you can help alleviate that pain point. That is what we're talking about. That is how we help people. And again, if you're trying to do all sorts of fancy things, the latest fancy thing, it's just not going to happen. There has to be a systematized plan. So I'm going to keep it at that for today. It was more of a rant than anything else. I just want the best for you. I honestly do. And when I see people literally given a plan and they are not following the plan because they think it was a fluke, or they can improve upon it, or that just somehow it no longer applies to them in the year 2022 or 23 or 2027, there's an issue, right? There's an issue, and I just want those people to be successful as well. And that includes you. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to be back next week. Next week should be the website that I want to talk about, the website that I want to discuss, because I do want to make sure that with all of this great marketing, whether it's free social media, Instagram posts or Facebook posts, or more digital-based ads or boosted posts or whatever it is, that you're driving people to a professional site. All right, so we're going to be talking about that, if not next week, the week after. Stay tuned, though. All of the shows are at ihp.coach/podcast. Thank you so much. Take care. Have an amazing day. And we would love it if you were able to review the show. Thanks.